Hello and what is up guys, Rai here and welcome back to some more automation and BeamNG.Drive. Now I'm not sure if you guys can tell or not, but from the thumbnail we're making a very fuel efficient vehicle. It's going to be a very small vehicle. We're using a body right here. It is less than 67 inches long. It's a very short body. I'll put the measurement down there for you Europeans or people who don't use the Imperial system, like myself, I guess. So we're going to hop into building this bad boy. After we build it, we're going to hop into BeamNG as well. And I want to see what the fuel economy is like, A, on the track, and B, just driving normally. First things first, of course, the panels. Straight carbon fiber, because this thing has got to be a very light boy. I'm shooting for definitely sub 1,000 pounds. Monocoque chassis. We're going to go for AHS steel for now. We could probably do carbon fiber, honestly. Front transverse, very light. Front wheel drive is fine for a super light vehicle. I think rear would be fun, but it's not needed, really. McPherson struts in the front, and I think a semi-trailing arm in the, or torsion beam. Torsion beam's pretty cheap. We'll take a look after. So we're going to hop into a new engine here. Now, there is one kind of cheat to making this thing super fuel efficient. Larger engines can get just way better efficiency, which means more overall MPG. So what we're going to do is do a 3-cylinder engine. We're going to go all ALSI, dual verted cam, 4-valve. I might go 5-valve and non-VVL. Actually, let's do 5-valve, I think, for this one. Just for funsies, we'll do 5-valve. Now, what we want to do here, make it an absolute massive engine. Like, for example, we cannot fit a 4.1 liter. I mean, we can, but, like, it's not going to run very well at all. We're going to go for, like, a 2.5 liter. Or a 3 liter. 3 liter inline 3. Massive cylinders for a 3-cylinder. Oh, LSI, there we go. Forged, lightweight, and low friction cast. I might change it to lightweight forged depending on the revs. We'll leave the stock for now. We're gonna go turbo, ball bearing, fuel economy preset by default, and just some good generic stuff. Premium fuel. This is gonna be still, you know, a special car in some way, some regard. It's gonna be great on fuel, but it's gonna be special in some way. Bypass, high flow 3-way. We're gonna go for like a straight through in no second. It's a turbocharged 3-cylinder. It's not gonna be crazy loud. Okay, the car doesn't run at all. That's fine. So what we're going to do actually is lower this down and increase this. We still can't do anything there over 3 liters. Lower this. So 2.4 is not bad. 2.1. Let's see what else we can do. Okay. So 5,000 RPM is plenty. Honestly, we can do 4,300 RPM. That's plenty. 2.3 liter. We're going to go ahead actually and increase the revs, or increase the bottom end by about 5 quality. Or we're not going to do too much quality sliders on this build, but just enough so the car still functions in some regard, I think. Keep increasing the size of the engine just a bit more. Like 5,000 is honestly plenty. 2.5 liter engine, 2.5 liter 3-cylinder, 200 horsepower right off the bat, 32% efficiency. Very efficient engine, obviously. We've got lots of octane left, 36% efficiency, and just increasing the ignition timing. They're over 36% efficiency, which is absolutely bonkers. We'll do a bit more in a bit to get the efficiency up a bit higher. We're going to lower this down to 5,000 RPM probably. We don't need horsepower. It doesn't have to run perfectly. We'll lower down the compression, and then the cam profile as well, probably. 39% efficiency, or 36.9% efficiency. 93 octane is what we're using. We can use more octane now. 37. So almost 40% of... I want to get 40% efficiency without using performance intake, and without using, like, some crazy stuff here. So what do we got? The exhaust is a little bit struggling. Bigger, smaller? What do we need? So the same size is fine. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to do a bit more after, in the time-lapse. Oh, gosh. Oh gosh. I don't like the look of that. That's not ideal. That's okay. It's fine. We can't morph it. It's gonna be there. That's okay. I might have to like change that for the thumbnail because it's gonna be disturbing me. We'll go for a manual, 6-speed manual. It's gonna be a fun car. Top speed so far is estimated at 372 kilometers an hour. That's like 240 miles an hour. Which is absurd. Radial, hard, long life for better MPG. And it's still going to be a fun car even with the hard long life because it's going to be so light. 175s, we'll do 185s in the front. Carbon fiber wheels, which we can do. Watch and see, we can do this. Carbon ceramics. Small, really, really small brakes. Fully clad, cooling flaps, better MPG. A 1-seater with like basic infotainment. Sure. We'll go electric. We don't need power steering actually. We'll go for ESC. And like decent safety. Nothing crazy, nothing too fancy. And just passive sway bars. Semi-active and progressive. So right now, with no tuning, nothing, we're getting 160 mpg. We weigh 1,025 pounds. We weigh like 500 kilograms, which is pretty darn light if you ask me. The cost, only 23,000. So we can go carbon fiber. That's 985 now. That's 30,000. Okay, that's pretty much on budget. We're fine on budget. Now what we can do actually is lower the trim body quality by a bit, which will make us, I think, a little heavier. All right, a little heavier. Both the same weight, 996. We'll save a little bit of money, 400 bucks or so. The tires are fine on the size. We can go for a 7-speed. Oh, we need to do gearing. Yeah, we need gearing. Okay, we're gonna gear it very, very, very long. That's already 190. We'll gear it to 180. The 198 MPG for now. I'm gonna go for more MPG, but the basics of the car are there. So what I'm gonna do is do a quick time-lapse build, but most of this is gonna be tuning because I want to get this thing to 250 MPG-ish, or at least over 200, and I want to get the weight down to like, 600, 700 pounds, probably a couple hundred pounds will shave off. So we're gonna hop into a time-lapse, guys. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. And we are off to design our Renault Twizy kind of competitor, I guess, in a sense. First things first, of course, we are tuning this car today to give it around 150 or so horsepower or less, and, similar torque to what it has, but I'm shooting for, and right now we're at about 41% engine thermal efficiency, which is absolutely incredible. Oversized engines are super OP, as my admin Ivan found out. So next thing we're going to do is, of course, the front end, and we're going to make sure that thing it's a pretty simple design. It's going to be a little futuristic-y, not too much in there. We start off with this sort of triangular-shaped front grille. That's actually not a grille at all. We don't need too much airflow. It's a small car with these sort of triple headlights set up in the front. Pretty much making this front grille from scratch. But again, it's not a grille. It's more of just an indentation, just for looks. I'm finishing that little piece off there. I'm playing around with the idea of actually having a grille if I end up not having one. Changing the color to this nice sort of frosty kind of white with a bar across the main front indentation of the car. Adding these sort of glow stick headlights because they just look so much better. Changing around the colors on the side and on the front, or the bumpers and the side panels, just to give it a bit of differentiation. But I do change it later on again. Adding again some more lights down beneath the main headlights. And now playing with the wheels, just changing something a little more generic, a little more, fuel efficient and sporty. I don't know. Just some cool looking wheels, basically. Adding a little bit of a vent or a grille down to the bottom, which I think I get rid of later on. I just don't like how it looks exactly. It really frustrates me. That's okay, though. Doesn't have to be crazy detailed. This car is not about the design, at least in today's design. This car's not about design. The back end, light bar right across, similar to the actual Renault Twizy, with a circle that's going to go in the middle that I play around with. The game crashed, of course. It's going to crash again several times. Now I'm just adding a few more details to the front end to add a bit more oomph to the front, really. A little bit plain without adding too many grills or vents. Having a sort of a bar with a circle in between. Changing the gearing, adding some turn signals at the back. And a few more things here and there to add a little more detail to the vehicle. I do have the name finally. It's called the Fizzy G1 of the vehicle. And playing around with the idea of a center logo, sort of doing this sort of joystick design. And in front of us, we have the 2020 Fizzy G1. Alright guys, so like I said, the Fizzy G1 is done in front of us. This is pretty much the Renault Twizy F1, but this is the Fizzy G1. It's different, I swear. You're gonna notice the turbo is sticking out of the front in some of the animation stuff earlier on. Not in the thumbnail though, so I had to edit that out because it looked kind of weird. One thing to note though, the car is going to be a lot different in BeamNG.Drive than we actually have set up here. You'll notice the tires are a bit different too, so I did change a few things. I'll show you guys what I did change. This car is still capable of over 200 miles per gallon, just with like, pretty cheap stuff with low quality sliders. If we just change it back to like carbon fiber, and we had McPherson struts torsion beam. So there's a couple things I did just to basically make the car not as horrible. We can change it back to a manual 6-speed, and we can change this to hard long life. So a couple things. We're at about 200 miles per gallon now. I did change a few things to go into BeamNG, so I did change it to semi-slicks. I did change it to dual clutch 7-speed. It has got a bit bigger tires, which we'll leave for here. Really weird brakes. I made it really front bias and really weak on the front too, or as much rear bias sorry as I could, because the car doesn't want to stop at all in BeamNG.Drive. It is absolutely hilarious. So we're capable of about 200 mpg with this car, as is right now. The cost, like right now, what we have is both $30,000, so it is quite cheap of a car. The BeamNG one actually costs a bit less because we don't have carbon fiber chassis. We just have steel, because under 1,000 pounds doesn't like it. You're gonna notice in BeamNG once you hop in there, it is the most interesting vehicle you could ever drive. There's nothing more interesting than the Fizzy G1. Basically, is a Renault Twizy. It's actually pretty fun to drive. The brakes are terrible, but they're great at the same time. So we're gonna hop into BeamNG, and we're gonna take a look and sort of see what this thing, I guess, can do. And finally, guys, we are now in BeamNG.Drive with the Twizy G1, basically the Renault Twizy F1, except this is better in every way. It's actually way faster. Top speed 0 to 60, probably better. It's better in every way, really, on paper. But in reality, it's not that great. It's not that great. So this is the Hirochi Raceway short race circuit. This is the upgraded version, not the super hypermile version, because that one does not load in at all. It crashes many times, and explodes the other times where it doesn't crash. We have got semi-slick tires, 205s up front, 185s, I believe, in the rear, 140 horse, 250 torque, 0 to 60 in the mid 4-second range. Front-wheel drive, though. Now, there's some wheel hop. We've got a lot of power for this lightweight thing. There's obviously going to be some early stuff happening. We're getting some great fuel consumption right now. Oh god, I think we broke the average fuel consumption. Let's just go to 5th here. Nice casual lap. Oh boy, it's not ideal at all. Why is the average like changing? Let's reset that real quick. There we go, this is a lot better. Now this is a lot better. Cruising in 5th. At a relative speed here, go down to 4th. Hit a wheel hop there. The launch, it drank a lot of fuel in the launch, not gonna lie, I'm not too sure why it did that. 3rd. Almost rolled the car, we're fine. On power. Full power. Go in here, go to 3rd. The Renault Twizy F1 looks pretty darn cool though, not gonna lie. Oh boy, that was not great. Oh boy, that was scary. Like, not terrible fuel consumption. There's our front end here. A 116, which is not awful actually, for the performance this thing has. Again, 116, getting like 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers average in the 1 minute lap. We're gonna go free roam for a second here. It just falls apart instantly. It's perfect. I drive that, not gonna lie. Now we're gonna do one different thing. We're gonna go to not a scenario. We cannot do those. I want to hop into a pure grid map, and we're gonna hop in there. I just want to see if this thing can cruise and get like a reasonable MPG while cruising in BeamNG.Drive. Not sure what I thought I had cruise control set up, but I don't think I do. 95 is fine. We'll go to 5th, 6th, 7th. 110. Just cruising. Restart that again. 115. That's not bad. 2.4 liters, 100 kilometers. We can go a little slower, probably even. 2.3. Just a quick test to sort of see what's happening here. But this thing is kind of a beast. I'm going to actually put the file to download this car if you guys want to download it in the description. There's a lot of mods, though. Be aware. There's this body mod. And there is a patchwork, dog tape, etc. And like a bunch of other stuff as well. So there's quite a bit of stuff. 2 liters, 100 kilometers. Not bad. We're going to just drop it down. I want to see if this thing can hit its top speed easily. 180 is a top speed. It's limited to 180, which we're going to hit easily. Just over 180. Wow. And now we're cruising. At 180 kilometers an hour. 2.4 liters per 100 kilometers. I'll put down the measurement down below, but now we're going to have to do a full emergency stop and just sort of see what this thing can brake at. Oh, gosh. Oh, that was not ideal. Nope. Yeah, that's what I feared would happen. The problem was a lot worse before when the braking force was like pretty balanced. Now it's just like it's really rear biased, and it still does the that little trick. And it was pretty good though. Like at like medium slow speeds, it's actually very capable. Look at that. Feels so safe. Great. If you guys want to see another build with this car, or just something else with this car, some other test or something like that with this body, let me know in the comments down below. It was a lot of fun. This build was a lot of fun to do. It was kind of a silly build, not really that detailed, but that's okay. Another really fun build. Join the Discord, linked in the description. If you guys liked the video, leave a like down below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I guess, I'll see you guys next time.